we were talking earlier about that division that's happening, and that's in order to create a sustainable, a collective consciousness of fifth dimensional reality. And you're seeing it more and more. Well, those that are allowing themselves to go into the heart are seeing that their manifestations, if they're coming from ego, if they're coming from doubt, if they're coming from fear or lack, or a survival mode of fight, flight, freeze, they're finding it very difficult to manifest. We're talking about advanced souls here that have been on this journey. They're finding it extremely difficult to manifest in the old way through simple visualization and request. Why isn't that happening? Because in the fifth, we've spoken about this, you have to come from your heart. The mind has to be in service to the heart, because the mind is simply an organ, just like your heart. Yeah, it functions to solve problems and to survive. That's what the mind does. The mind solves problems. When you think about people who've said they wanted to create something truly amazing, whether it's a business or an item, they've been inspired, something has driven them, a calling, a complete epiphany, inspiration. That doesn't come from your mind. That comes from your soul. And your soul communicates through your heart. So, for instance, when you want to create something in the third or the fourth, you have the inspiration, you think about it, you talk about it, you explain it, you have some sort of emotional connection to it, and then you begin to manifest it in the physical, correct?
Yeah.
That's it, goes down the line like this. So, when you move into the fifth, how you create is through that inspiration. But rather than the mind trying to figure out, let's say, the different steps in which to go about it, looking for certainty, looking for to be convinced that it's right, yeah? If you go into your heart and you feel it, you feel the truth of it, you feel the vibration of what that will create on the planet without ego, you just feel the vibration of that. Your ability to manifest it will be amplified. But the moment you go into your mind again, so doubt, fear, criticism, judgment, you create a longer timeline in which it can appear. So, if everything is created from light, yeah, if light is the life force of whatever it is you wish to create, and because you're on planet Earth, what you're creating with are the 5 elements, aren't they? Earth, air, water, fire, and ether, spirit. Yeah? So those 5 elements exist within your body is made up from it, and everything that you touch, feel, taste, experience on Earth is co-created by those 5 elements. So what a lot of people do is they actually forget those elements and they try to create just with spirit, yeah? And so that's why they get frustrated, and some would say they're, what do you call them? You call them like airy-fairy. It's a very common statement, isn't it? Oh, they're very airy-fairy, they're not very grounded, they don't manifest what they want, they're always talking about this amazing lifestyle or reality, but they're not contributing to it. And they are struggling with survival, right? So that's all coming from the head, really. It's not really coming from the heart, is it? It's all in the head. Yeah, because spirituality has existed in the head. Many teachers of spirituality didn't actually live by what they were teaching.
Yeah.
Well, we could say the church, any religion, pick any religion really, any strong religion, preached spirituality but conducted itself in a different way. So it didn't really believe what it was saying. And there are a lot of spiritual teachers that also do the same, right?
Yeah.
So in that respect, spirituality has always come from the mind. It's a perception. It's a philosophy. It's something that one has to work at to achieve. So you only get it towards the end of your life, or if you sit in silence.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you can get it, because if you're in the real world interacting with people, you're going to get annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, someone's going to annoy you. Their opinion you're not going to like, their lifestyle you're going to object to, etc. So that's all from the mind. It's not from reality of the heart. So it's a false reality. Spirituality in the third and the fourth dimension is a false reality. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have spoken about the fourth dimension, where a lot of people say, oh, it's a spiritual reality. No, it's psychic.
Mm-hmm.
It's an energetic reality. And energy can be used for dark or light, just like a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Your soul can be used for dark or light depending on what you choose, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could choose to go into greed and control, or you could choose to share. Up to you.
Yeah.
So, energy does not discern. What discerns is the heart, not the mind, because the mind can convince you that you're right in what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have to let go of the mind and understand that the mind is simply a vehicle to helping the heart. So it's in service to the heart, because the mind, as an organ to solve problems, yeah, and it is part of your physical body, it understands, even though you're not aware of it, it understands the elements. Those 5 elements, it understands them quite well. And it understands that in order for you to create, you have to know what you want to create, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mind can give you the image. The mind can receive the message. Go down this street. Go talk to that person, right? So the mind is an amazing vehicle for solving problems.
Yeah.
And if it's in service to the heart, it will guide you in a way. Oh, do this, do that. Yeah, oh, this is how you figure it out. This is how you work this. Because when you are a child, why do you think most of your senses, apart from your skin, the sense of touch, are all in your head? So your ears, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, your third eye is all in your head, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be? Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing that came to mind is because it's very protected.
Partly, but also because all of it's feeding your brain information. So when you're a baby and you're pre-verbal, and then you are pre-analytical, yeah, as you get older, up until between the age, it depends, because with your education system things have shifted a little, but it used to be up till the age of 7, now it's pretty much 5. But up until that age, you're in what's called the unconscious. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So everything you see, you hear, you taste, yeah, you smell, you experience, you witness, everything that's around you goes directly into your brain, right? But the brain doesn't discern whether it's good or bad, does it? Just absorbs it as information. So depending on your experiences when you're a child will determine what your belief systems are and your reactions. Because most people are in reaction, they're not in response.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So everything's going into the brain and it's filling the brain with certain information. And it's going directly into the subconscious mind and then gets filtered into the front cortexes of the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, which are either analytical or creative. So when you're 5 or 7, you choose what side of your brain is going to be predominant, and you cut off your subconscious mind. Even though it's still working, you kind of become dominant in the front aspects of your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that in order for you to manifest something, your brain fully knows and has registered completely what everything is on the planet. It hasn't discerned necessarily when you're young whether it's good or bad, but it's registered it all, right? So everything, and that happens with your ancestors, yeah. So we could say in previous lives, you've also registered everything. So your body continually registers those 5 elements. Continually.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so intrinsic to your body that you don't notice. It's just natural.
Mm-hmm.
Very natural for you to be in some sort of sync and harmony with reality and those 5 elements. So your mind actually knows how to be in harmony with all of those elements.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, as a soul, you may have experienced those elements throughout lifetime and lifetime, so you understand them also. Right? Now, as you get older and you go through different systems like your educational system and your environment, your mind gets programmed with a lot of rubbish, doesn't it? Like your computer, there's a lot of things that need to be deleted.
Yeah.
So your mind, because it knows how to solve problems, it often finds problems in every situation. It's looking for the problem.
Yeah.
So when you want to create something, it will look for the problem before it will look for
Solution.
Yeah, how to create it. So that's where the division happens, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of the right and the left hemispheres or the subconscious mind. So in order to create in the 5th, you need to go into your heart first. And that is something you as a human being in your physical reality, in your physical body, is very foreign. If you were to look at, let's say you looked at your ancestors, and you were to go right back thousands of years, you'd find that your ancestors actually lived off instinct, not their heart. They lived off instinct. So their instinct was to survive, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To kill or be killed. So that's in your brain. It's in your body. It's in every cell of your body. And then, the body, the 3rd dimensional reality became stronger. So inventions, creations, etc., which made your lives a lot easier, all came to fruition. So the mind would think in those times, oh, I need to take my food from here to here. How can I do it? So the wheel was invented as a solution. Yeah, so the mind can solve problems, but first it will find the problem. Then it will find the solution. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened in your education system, because you have been, well, maybe not you personally and everyone that's listening, but in some systems, you've been rote learning, so just getting information, not really learning how to solve the problem.
Mm.
So that aspect of creativity has been nullified.
Mm.
So you're no longer working with your inspiration, right? A lot of people.
Mm.
So that's how the 3rd and the 4th reality existed, right? You did it all from the mental, all from the mind. I understand the elements, I understand how these things work. If I put this and this together, this is going to be the outcome.
Yeah.
If I put all these components together, I'm going to be an alchemist and create something. And that was very good. However, when you're moving into the fifth, it's a bit how can we say, difficult to comprehend an existence that allows the heart to speak first and the mind to assist the heart to create. And that's where people are struggling, because they get this inspiration and they say, yes, this is what I want to do. Now, the other thing is that when you feel it so strongly, you as a soul, when you're operating in the fifth as a soul, your instinct is to have almost instant manifestation. So that can be frustrating too. So you get this inspiration, you have this epiphany, and you want it next week. But then along comes all of these different, let's say, third and fourth dimensional collective consciousnesses, people, restrictions. They come in and they start to create doubt for you, fear for you. And they start to dissipate your heart energy. And you start to go into your mind thinking, oh, it's not going to work. Maybe it won't work. I'm going to fail. Yeah? That's all in your head. It's all in your mind. Because the mind does not want to surrender control. Everything that you experience on planet Earth at the moment has been created by a mind. So you have these little proverbs that say, reality follows thought. Thought creates reality. Yeah? And that then goes into your mind and goes, yeah, I've got to create it from my mind. But in order to move into the fifth, you need to start creating from your heart. You've heard of this heart math. It's very big. And it's a combination of science, understanding the vibration of the heart, and that the heart actually has brain cells in it that communicate with your brain. And let's say the electromagnetic frequency of the third eye and its ability to create from the mind is limited compared to the heart. The heart's 5,000 times greater in its ability to create a force field. Electromagnetic force field is 5,000 times stronger, which means that if you are creating from your heart, your manifestations will be even stronger. So the best way to do that is to feel, not have an emotion, not go into reaction, but to feel. Use your mind. Your mind is an amazing tool, and it can connect with, it knows the solution to everything from all the lifetimes that you've been in and all the lifetimes your ancestors have been in. Your mind actually knows the solution to everything. It's just a matter of accessing it. So if you want to manifest something, if you feel it and you literally say, yeah, my mind is in service to my heart, and you say to your mind, find a solution, direct me to this person, create an awareness of where I need to go next. The mind will solve that problem. So you've got to create a positive way of solving problems for the mind to go. But the mind doesn't control. The moment you allow your mind to start controlling it is the moment you go into doubt and fear and all the rest of it, which is, again, a wonderful way for the third and the fourth dimension, so for that duality to continue existing. And it continues to exist through your fragility, through your mind. But actually, if you go into your heart, you'll see, I feel safe in this situation, or I don't feel safe in that. So when you think about protection, when people talk about, I want to have psychic protection and I have to have psychic protection. In the third and the fourth, psychic protection means you cover yourself in an energy and you create a separation, a distance between you and a reality that you don't want to be part of. So when you do that, you make yourself a target. Because if there's a wall, what does the darkness want to do? Knock it down. So in your desire to create that protection, what you're actually doing is making yourself more of a target. Your strongest protection is the love vibration in its truth, not from the mind, but from the heart. Because if your heart is open, you will know instantly whether something's right or wrong for you. It doesn't mean, oh, my heart's open, so therefore I can go into this den of lions and they'll just sit beside me. Well, maybe an animal would, because it would feel your vibration. But that was a metaphor for people who are coming from negativity and greed. You know, so if you were to go and try to negotiate and do business with people that you know are, having child slave labour or not ethical in their business, then what you're doing is agreeing with that, correct?
Yeah.
Right? So if your heart's open, your heart will say, don't do business. It'll feel something that will make you feel uneasy, unsure. Yeah? You'll feel a bit of fear or something like that. And so then the mind goes, oh, but if I'm in the fifth, I shouldn't be feeling fear. Right? But perhaps that feeling is your truth. This person is going to create fear in my life. Yeah? Is going to compromise me, is going to have control of me, or demoralize me, or something. So your heart will tell you who you can go into business with and who you can't, where you should travel to and where you shouldn't. Your heart will tell you that. And at the moment, the world feels like a very small place for people who are in their heart, because there is a lot of very strong negative vibrations out there that they're not allowed to go near. So a lot of people are staying still, and that's okay too, because you have the internet. You can use that for your voice. You don't necessarily have to travel at this moment. You know, the fifth dimensional reality that everyone is craving for is because they're tired. Their souls are tired. They're tired of the struggle. They're tired of survival. They're tired of living in fear. They're tired of fighting. And part of their soul remembers the peace that comes with living in the fifth. In the fifth and beyond, right? The fifth is just a doorway, actually, to the sixth, etc. But that's why, you know, you can't go into the fifth if you're lying to yourself, if you're not being honest. You can go into the fifth and experience fear, right? Because some are saying, well, you know, if I'm in the fifth, then I can't be experiencing fear, therefore I'm not in the fifth because I've got this fear. Oh, I'm such a terrible person, I didn't do it right, so then there's judgment on themselves, and that takes them down into the fourth, not the fear. Fear is a normal bodily response to a situation. Because your body is, it's organic. So if your body is threatened, if your life is threatened, if you're standing at a cliff and there's nothing in front of you and someone wants to push you over, you're going to feel fear. If you're in a plane and there's a great deal of turbulence and you're, thinking you're going to die, you're going to feel fear because your fear is of the pain, not of the death, it's the pain.
Yeah.
Right? Because your body has registered painful deaths probably many times, right? So that fear is actually normal. Okay, so you can go into the fifth with fear because if you're in a physical body, it's actually normal to feel fear if you're going to lose that body, right? So let's just get that out of the way. What takes you into the fourth is doubt, self-criticism, coming out of your heart. And that means your heart towards yourself. Now, what's interesting is that in order to go into the fifth, which means that you've activated your multi-dimensional abilities and reality, so you're a multi-dimensional being. Okay, so what do you need to do in order to be in alignment with yourself? You can't go into the fifth if you're eating McDonald's every day. Right? You can't go into the fifth if you have people working for you that you know you're not paying correctly and you're treating badly. You cannot go into the fifth if your mind is in depression and anxiety, and you get what we're saying here. Yeah? If you're disconnected from your emotions or you're disconnected from your mind by being on antidepressants, etc. No, you're not going to go into the fifth. Because in order to go into the fifth, you must be in alignment of yourself, not alignment with the reality in which you're living. And this is what a lot of people are doing. They're trying to make the outside, peaceful, so their inside can be peaceful. Right? So if war starts, if these vaccines stop, if this government is better, then I can go into the fifth. Not true. You can go into the fifth if you are in alignment with yourself. So in other words, you're in tune with your body. It doesn't mean you have to go exercise like a fool and say, okay, in order for me to, because then again, that's another judgment, isn't it? A criticism of yourself. I'm not good enough. My physical body isn't fit. I can't run, 5Ks. So that's another judgment. So you don't have to be exercising every day like a maniac and have no fat on your body and eating no sugar, and we're not saying restrict yourself, we're saying have your body in harmony. So your body goes, I don't want to eat that plastic food, then don't eat it. But if your body says, I need to eat meat, even though all these people here are saying how terrible it is, because an animal died in order for me to do that, but your body says it needs the protein from that particular piece of meat, eat it.
Yeah.
Because you could be vegetarian and eating complete GMO, right? So therefore, you're not listening to your body if you're eating that. You're listening to your mind. It's telling you, you have to do this, you have to do that, right? So listen to your body. So that's connection with the emotional self. And the emotional self says, don't react, respond. Reaction means I'm in anger, I'm disappointed, I'm disgusted, I'm ashamed, I feel guilt. That's reaction. So when someone is unkind to you and you go into reaction, you can't resolve the situation. But when you go into response, you're in tune. So I realize that I have just felt guilty or shame, and that person wanted me to feel that. Or that person wanted to agitate me so that I would react. Because why? Maybe they're feeling it. Right? Because the empath is very emotional. It understands the emotional body and the field of energy. So it picks up the energetic field of others, and then because you're also internalized in a lot of ways and focused on yourself in the mind we're talking about, you go, I must be feeling this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Not necessarily. If you meet someone and you feel dislike for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because they dislike themselves and they're feeling self-loathing. So go into the feeling a little bit more and respond rather than react. Does that make sense?
It does.
To respond?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you're responding to yourself, not reacting to them.
Yeah.
Right? So then you've got the mental plane, and that we've pretty much explained today, that the mind is merely an organ, yeah, that solves problems and goes into survival mode. It survives and solves problems in order to survive. So the mental plane is to understand that when I doubt myself, when I criticize myself, when that voice in my head says, you're so stupid, why did you do that? I can't stand myself. You're so fat, you're so ugly, you're this and you're that. That criticism isn't you. It's what you've been programmed with from the outside world. So work needs to be done on the mind for sure. Because the mind, if you look at the mental plane of existence on planet Earth, it's massive. If you look at the physical plane, that's massive. The emotional plane is quite small. It's quite simple, right? The mental plane is massive. And then you've got the psychic plane. And the psychic plane is understanding that your thoughts create your reality, yeah? That energy is always in motion. Yeah? Karma, laws of creation. So, the energetic field can be used, again, remember there's no discernment, so it can be used to cripple someone, to control someone, to humiliate someone. It can also, people put spells, curses, all of these sort of psychic practices come under that. So it means that your mind, your understanding that your mind or your telepathy can invade another person's energy and create something within that person or that environment, right? So, if you are in alignment and you've understood all of that and you've moved into the field, what do you think is going to happen to the reality of the people around you if you're in complete alignment and you've understood that? So, if you're no longer criticizing yourself and you're understanding what's yours and what's not yours and how to respond, you're listening to your heart as to whether or not you should negotiate with that person, go to that place, etc. Yeah? So you're in complete alignment. Who's stronger? The person in alignment or the person who's segregated in a way?
The first one.
Exactly. So therefore, the reality, yeah, the mental field that you are creating, the energy that you are imbuing your reality with, has love in it, certainty in it, understanding in it, safety, security. So, if let's say you're not in a physical reality and you're above the fifth, you're in the fifth and above, in spirit, let's say. You come across another soul. You don't necessarily speak physically, but what you do is you allow that soul to read your energy as much as what you wish. So if you want to work with someone, you want to co-create with a group, you all understand there is no lies, no deceit, no cover-up, no duality. So you know exactly who you want to work with, who you're in harmony with, who you want to co-create with. It doesn't mean that that soul is bad because it's not in harmony with what you want to create. It just means they've got a different journey. So if you look at what your existence is at the moment, some of you are trying to create with someone who actually doesn't want to create the same thing as you.
Mm-hmm.
So here you are coming up against the government systems, friends, family, trying to convince them that you're right and that they should create in the way that you create. So where are you? You're certainly not in the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your heart is open and you're in alignment, you're going to draw to you the people who are willing to create with you in harmony. So, the fifth dimension is not something that you can just pop into through a crystal or through a symbol or eating right or meditating. It's a combination, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's about everything being in harmony. All those four bodies being in complete harmony. If you're carrying, from your ancestors, huge disappointment, and you're constantly receiving disappointment in your life, that's a vibration you need to release yourself from. And you probably notice that at the moment your healing capacities have exploded. So the healing happens fast. Because that veil is thinner between the dimensions, So if you want to live in harmony in the fifth, you have to be in alignment with yourself. You need to respond to yourself and not react to others. And you're also required to listen to your heart and allow your heart to lead the way and your mind to be in service to it.
Mm.
And in order to do that, sometimes you have to do healing. You have to. You spend your money on things to make you feel good, external to make you feel good, when internally you're criticizing yourself, judging yourself, feeling weak, feeling fat, feeling whatever you're feeling. Wouldn't it be better to address the feeling and the belief system, the collective consciousness, the emotions that are involved with that, so that you don't need something external? Because in the third and the fourth, it's all about external things. It's all about ego. Do I look good? Is my house nice? What sort of car am I driving? Yeah. But in the fifth, it's about your heart. That person feels good. So if you're living in truth, in your truth, it doesn't matter about anybody else. You see, that's the big thing. Most people are thinking, if I convince all of them that my truth, it should be their truth, then we'll all be happy. So what are you doing? You're trying to control the outside world when really you need to put yourself in order. If you are in order and more of you come in order, then the outside world will go into order and peace.
Mm.
The reason there's so much chaos violence, etc., that's happening on the planet at the moment is because you have been living in that thousands of years. And it's all coming up to be exposed. And there are so many temptations at the moment to go into the third and the fourth and feel bad, feel sorry, feel angry, frustrated, feel alone, disconnected. Well, if you're disconnected, disconnect from all of your technology and go into yourself. Then you'll find the answer. If you continue as a planet to fight with each other, then something will happen, will need to happen to eradicate those that keep fighting, right? So Mother Earth can have peace. The light that is coming through from the photonic bands, from the universe. Remember we spoke about a wall of light that was traveling through the universe many years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually hit what you call the sun. And it's sending rays down onto the planet to activate the light codes in your souls, which is waking people up. So that's why the chemtrails. If they could put chemicals in the air that deflects those rays, it's aluminium, deflects those rays from actually hitting your body and hitting your soul, they can prevent you from evolving, from the evolutionary process that needs to happen. Mother Earth is already in that process. They can't really prevent it. They'd like to, but they can't. So those that are experiencing a great deal of hate in themselves, hating others, hating a different religion, hating a certain government system, they're in their mind. They're not in their heart, they're in their mind, and they're in reaction. So they are not at all evolving. So eventually they will, unfortunately, create something amongst themselves that they'll just be killing each other. So your fifth dimension, it seems sometimes for some people, oh yeah, that's easy, I'll just go into that. Yeah, well, because there's a division between dark and light that happens, they separate, you can't go into the fifth dimension if you are not in alignment. It's a small dimensional reality, but it's very, very strong. It's a bridge. And you can't pass into there with falsities. So does that answer the question?
Yeah.